Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode. Today we are deciding the playoff grid for the Cup Series as well as having a quick recap of Hailie Deegan's efforts in the Xfinity Series. There you see the playoff grid coming in to the Brickyard 400. It's likely going to stay that way, but you never know. If we have a surprise winner, then maybe anything can happen as we get ready to go into Indianapolis to decide your 16 drivers competing for this season's playoffs. But we come to the Xfinity race. Hailie Deegan had to start in the back after failing post-qualifying inspection, and unfortunately that would kind of set the tone for this race, as she certainly wasn't going to be able to work her way towards the front. But by the time she came to about the midway point in this race, she started working her way up towards the top 30. She got up to P29 as she went down into turns 1, trying to move up a few positions ahead of the number 76 to take that 28th position away as she came through turns 1 and 2, down behind the number 39 of Ryan Sieg as she came out of turn 2, still 28th, but by the time it came to the final lap, she had worked her way up to P23, battling for 22nd on the inside of the 15 as she goes up the track a little bit, trying to take that spot away as they come through down into turns 4 for the final time here in Indianapolis. Hailie Deegan would clear the number 15 to take 22nd away, as well as look to the inside of the 51 of Jeremy Clements as they came across the line. Hailie Deegan would edge him out to get the 21st position in Indianapolis. So not a great finish. Unfortunately, now as we have one race left in the regular season as well for the Xfinity Series in the next episode. But a finish like this doesn't really matter, as Justin Allgaier won the race, so a good job by him. I don't believe he has many wins this season, actually, as we still get a decent chunk of money, and that was Allgaier's second win on the season. And as we shift focus over to the Cup race, Indianapolis, a track that I don't usually run very well at, I was coming into this race really honestly hoping for maybe a top 20. I think if we get a top 20, I'll be pretty satisfied, because I struggle a lot at this racetrack since the AI was changed to become much faster. So that would certainly set the tone for this whole event as we came through to qualifying. We made it to the second session, coming through turns 4 for the final time in session 2, down the front straightaway to come through to complete my lap, and it would not be a great lap now as we come across the line. It is a 48.652, and we will start the Brickyard 400 from the 22nd qualifying position. So let's go decide the playoffs.
The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series has finally made its way to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the running of the Big Machine Vodka Brickyard 400. The Brickyard now marks the final stop of the regular season, a spot normally held by Richmond. So for those drivers on the fringe, kissing the bricks may mean a lot more than in years past. For them, a victory here may be their last shot at glory. Which of these drivers will make the final cut? It's time to head down to the track and find out.
All right, we're ready to go green in Indianapolis. Clint Boyer in the number 14 car and Kurt Busch on the front row. Reed Sorensen sent to the back after unapproved body modification during qualifying as we get ready to start from the 22nd position in the Brickyard 400. Like I said, coming into this race, not very confident, as we sucked here last season as well, but got lucky to get a top 10 as the green flag is out, and we are underway as we get ready to decide the 16 drivers who make the playoffs for this postseason battle for the championship. Now as we head down into turns 1 and 2, Clint Boyer edging out his teammate of Kurt Busch as he is clear to take that lead position away, as our teammate Kyle Larson's actually up towards the front down there, I believe in second place right now behind Clint Boyer. He is still winless, maybe trying to sneak in a win before this playoff starts as we come down the back straightaway, falling down to 26 pretty early as we're stuck on this outside line. And if you're stuck on the outside here, it is very deadly now as we come down towards turns 3, trying to get to that inside line, but unfortunately not able to do so at the start of this race. Is now AJ Allmendinger, his final season in this series, looks to my inside as we come through turns 4, trying to pull ahead of him down the front straightaway. We have the draft of his teammate Chris Buescher in the number 37, and we're going to get cleared just about to the 47 now as we finally clear him to come across the line to complete the first lap here in Indianapolis with a 51-second lap. So certainly pretty lengthy laps at this track now as we move back into the top 25 here through turns 1. And as we come down into turns 2, we get into the back of the 13 of Ty Dillon just a little bit now as we come out of the corner. And this race, to me, is really just about survival. We're just trying to get through this race. Now as we come down into turn 3, making a move to the inside of Ty Dillon, or sorry, in turns 2 on the third lap, I should say, as we come down the back straightaway, looking to try and get to the left rear of William Byron before turns 3, as he is in a must-win situation to make the playoffs, and so is the 88 of Alex Bowman. Now, as it looks like we're only going to have 2 Hendrick cars in the playoffs at the moment, that's Jimmy Johnson and Chase Elliott. Jimmy Johnson being the only Hendrick car with a victory so far in this regular season, as we get into the left rear of the 24 of Byron as we come out of turn 4. And by the time we came to the lap 9 of 11 in the first stage, we had worked our way into the 18th position on the inside of Michael McDowell. Don't want to mess with him. He'll try to fight us and grab us by the neck, and probably we'd drop him just like Suarez did as we come out of turn 4, though, clearing him to take the 17th position now on the back of the number 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., looking to his inside as we come to just 2 laps to go in this first stage. Certainly working my way forwards better than I was expecting. I said I wanted a top 20 out of this because I struggle so bad at this racetrack, so I was pretty happy with where I was, and I wanted to be starting on the inside for stage 2, so we're trying to catch the 48 of Jimmy Johnson and gain that 1 extra spot to start on the inside. But Ricky Stenhouse Jr. certainly giving me a tough time as he clears me down the back straightaway with a lap and a half left in the first stage. Now as we head down into turn 3, looking to his inside again as we continue to try to pull ahead of him, but I was having a very tough time getting clear of him. I certainly didn't have a problem coming alongside him, but I just could not pull ahead and clear him. But out of turn 4, we kind of chop his nose and we get the job done as we clear Stenhouse down the front straightaway as we come through to cross the line. The white flag in stage 1 is now out as we try to run down the 48 of Jimmy Johnson into turns 1 and 2. Jimmy Johnson, multiple wins in this race. Certainly not looking like he's going to do that today, as he's having a frustrating run just like myself at this point. And I really think that my biggest problem so far in this race was the car just did not want to turn like I needed it to turn. Now as we come down the back straightaway for the final time in stage 1, trying to close in on the back of the 48, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen as we go down into turn 3, trying to get on his back bumper now as we come out of turn 3, all over his bumper, but we go for a bit of a slide, allowing the 34 of McDowell to get to my inside, and that's going to allow a whole train of cars to come on to my inside, and this will allow them to all pass me as Stenhouse, Casey Kane, and William Byron would all get past me, as the stage would end as the 10th place car crossed the line, and we would get 20th in the first stage after really having a shot to get at least 16th, and I kind of screwed it up. And now as we get ready to go into the second stage, your stage winner was Clint Boyer, so a playoff point for him, and I would come to pit road, take 4 tires and 2 cans of fuel, and we would actually lose 1 position and fall back to 21st, so we get to restart now on the inside line behind the 24 of William Byron. And as we get ready to go green, the green flag is back out, and we are underway to start the second stage here in Indianapolis. As it stands right now, the same 16 drivers coming into this race are the 16 that will stay in the playoffs, as we take William Byron and Austin Dillon 3 wide into turns 1, clearing the 24 as Chase Elliott, his teammate's going to follow through, as well as Elliott's currently the last car in the playoffs without a win as well. Now as we come through turns 2, out of the corner, trying to get that draft from the 17, as we have very little momentum, having to side draft the 95, but he still clears me as William Byron, the 24, comes alongside now as we go down the back straightaway, looking into turn 3, trying to get to the left rear of Casey Kane, but we're unable to do so now as we exit turn 3, going down in towards turn 4 as Clint Boyer continues to lead this race as we exit turn 4, now clearing just about the 24 of Byron now as we finally do clear him after I kind of chop his nose a little bit, looking to the inside of the 95 of Casey Kane, and I got into the back of him, allowing him to get a huge boost of momentum down the straightaway as we head down into turns 1, as Clint Boyer now leads over second place Kurt Busch, and third place Kyle Busch, who battles alongside our teammate of Kyle Larson as we head down once again into turns 2, right on the bumper of the 95 of Casey Kane, but really unable to make anything happen with them right now. As you can just see, the lack of speed my car has compared to the AI at this racetrack is certainly one of the biggest tracks it comes to when it shows how fast the AI are since they were changed a couple months back with one of the big patches. Now as we come down into turns 4, William Byron on my back bumper as we exit the 4th turn, still trying to make something happen as we close in on the 95, looking to his left rear, but once once again, we hit him in the bumper as he checked up just a little bit earlier than I thought he would, and that would allow him to have another boost of momentum as we went into turns 1, though finally looking to his inside, but moving up the track a little bit, just about making contact as we exit turn 1, getting a little bit sideways, but fortunately we hang on to it now as we come through turns 2. Casey Kane going to hang on my right rear, but I'm going to try and get up in front of him, but unable to do so as we come down the back straightaway side by side, but we finally cleared the 95 of Casey Kane, and that was just about a 2.5 lap battle to get that one position. We would move up to 16th place on the inside of Eric Jones with just 2 to go in the second stage, and it was just as tough to pass Eric Jones as it was with Casey Kane, as I could not clear him for the life of me. And it was really getting frustrating because we would pull ahead on the exit of the corner and down the straightaway. You see how much he would gain back, and I was forced to side draft him to stay side by side on his left rear as we head down into turn 3 as Jimmy Johnson leads this little group of cars just like he did in the first stage. At the end of the first stage, as we're still battling alongside the 20 of Eric Jones as we head down into turn 3, touching that apron as we come out of turn 4, trying to clear the 20, but unable to still do that as we come down the front straightaway to come through to pass the line to cross or take the white flag in stage 2 as Jones clears me down the straightaway as we head down into turns 1. He leaves the inside open, so I take the opportunity and fill that gap that he just left open as we go a little bit wide, making a little bit of contact with him as we head down into turns 2. Still unable to clear that 20 car as we come out of turn 2. He's going to fight back on the outside as McDowell lurks behind, trying to pounce on this opportunity if he gets one as we continue to side draft the 20 of Jones, but he clears me again as we head down into turn 3, and once again we look to his inside, trying to make it work as we come through turns 3, heading down into turns 4 for the final time in stage 2. If we can just get ahead of him and clear, as we finally do clear the 20 of Jones as we exit turn 4 and move into the 15th position behind Paul Menard as we come through to cross the line. We would get P15 in the second stage, so certainly not very good for myself, but it just shows how much speed the AI have. We were struggling very bad on speed, and we would come to pit road obviously after Clint Boyer has swept both of these stages so far in the race. We would hit with 4 tires and 2 cans of fuel and end up losing 3 spots as we get ready to go green. The green flag's back out. The final stage of the regular season is underway. It's a short one, only 13 laps here, and I immediately have a chance to get down in front of the 88 of Bowman, so obviously I'm going to hop on that opportunity to get to the bottom line as we fall in line in P18 now, closing in on the back of the 12 of Blaney as we head down into turns 2. The 2 Hendrick cars battle alongside behind me as Chase Elliott's back there as well. 300 cars behind me as William Byron comes up alongside on my right door as he is able to make that outside work somehow and come alongside me as we go down the back straightaway. And as we head down into turns 3, looking to the inside of the 12 of Blaney as we move up the track and we make a little bit of contact and sideways we go, but we make a save, a pretty large save through turns 3 now as we head down into turns 4, regrouping from that little bit of a just about having a near incident now as we come down the front straightaway to come through, closing in on the back of Blaney as we're going to look to his inside as we come across the line to complete the first lap of this final stage as we head down into turns 1 with just 12 laps to go as Clint Boyer continues to lead in a dominating performance as he tries to earn his first career Brickyard 400 victory as we head down into turns 2. Joey Logano in the number 22 car won last episode. Now he is up to second place as we come down the back straightaway looking on the inside of Paul Menard, giving him a little bit of a side draft as we head down the long straightaway as we head towards turns 3, trying to get ahead of him, and maybe if we play our cards right we can get a top 15 out of this as we come through turn 3, looking to the inside of the 17, getting a little bit loose again after touching the back of the 12 of Ryan Blaney as we come through turns 4, still on the inside of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. as we come through. This time by will be 11 laps to go now in Indianapolis as we make contact with 17 of Stenhouse, but we cross the line sitting with 11 to go, slowly working our way forwards once again on the inside now as Suarez, he continues to fall backwards on that outside line as he settles in briefly to 15th, but I look to his inside now as we try to take that 15th position away from him, but he clears me with so much momentum on the straightaway. It's just insane how much faster the AI are on the straightaways, but we come to lap 31 with just 10 to go. We would work our way up to the 15th position ahead of Daniel Suarez as we come through turns 3 and 4 behind the 12 of Blaney still. And as we head down into turns 4, trying to get a run on the 12 of Blaney, and we're going to do just that as we look to his outside on the exit of turn 4, trying to make a pass, using the draft from the 34 of Michael McDowell down the front straightaway as we come across the line to hit 9 laps to go side by side with the 12 of Ryan Blaney as we head down into turns 1. I unfortunately have to let him clear me so I can get down into that inside line, so we fall in line, still in the top 15 though, as we head down into turns 2, getting into the back of Blaney a couple times, getting sideways again. That's not the first time we've gotten sideways off of Blaney's car. I think that's actually the third time, as I would have to block a move from Paul Menard behind me, and by the time we came to lap 35 into turn 3, still P15, but this time we get sideways again, allowing Bowman to look to my inside as we head down into turn 3. Stanos is going to hit me in the left rear just a little bit, and he's going to hit me again as we go up the track into the wall, and that's going to actually bring out a caution with that just tiny little hit to the wall. It certainly did a decent amount of damage, but unfortunately that would bring out the caution, setting up a late race restart with just 2 laps to go in this race, as Stanos just hit me in the left rear and then hit me again and shot me towards the wall as the green flag is out for likely the final time in the regular season now, as we come through. 2 laps remain in Indianapolis from the 19th position, so still in the top 20 like I was hoping for now as we come through turns 1 and 2 on the inside of the 24 of William Byron. Now looking to that left rear of Stanos, certainly I wasn't very pleased with him, but I wasn't going to try and wreck him in this situation as we're really right in the center of the pack now, as we have terrible speed on the straightaway now, down the back straightaway. Byron, he's going to look to the inside as Suarez comes along on my outside as we head down into turns 3 and 4. Clint Boyer still in command. He has completely dominated this Brickyard 400, and he looks to bring home the victory now as we come through turns 4, looking to the inside still of Suarez as we clear him on the exit of turn 4 to take back 19th place as we come down the front straightaway, closing in on the back of the 17 of Stanos, looking to his inside as we come through to cross the line. The white flag is in the air, and we have 1 lap remaining in the regular season, as it looks like we're going to have the same 16 drivers going to the playoffs that we did to start this race, as Boyer continues to lead as we head down into turns 2. Jimmy Johnson on the outside line, he has not had a good race, and is certainly showing now as he is barely inside the top 20 as well. And Stenhouse uses all of his speed to clear me down the back straightaway as we stay in P19 as we come through down into turns 3 for the final time here in Indianapolis. Now running that bottom line just ahead of Suarez as we get sideways big time, but we hang on to the car as we head down into turns 4 for the final time. Clint Boyer, no wins in the Brickyard 400 until today. He comes down the front straightaway. Clint Boyer is going to win the Brickyard 400, and we're unfortunately going to come through to get P19 in a very rough race as the game just about froze up completely as I crossed the line. But unfortunate finish for myself, but I said coming into this episode we were going to struggle. This is such a tough track with the career mode AI after the big patch changes a few months back. So it was really about survival. In the 2019 DLC, I'm going to really try and figure out something that will make us run better so we can actually compete here in the future though. But obviously the playoff grid of 16 drivers is now set. We know we have a couple upsets in the playoffs, one being Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and I believe the other is Bubba Wallace. Stenhouse, he won in Phoenix earlier in the season, and Bubba Wallace, I believe it was Daytona that he won at, if I remember correctly. So 2 upset winners, kind of wasting a couple playoff spots because their cars are, well, Bubba Wallace's car isn't very fast. Stenhouse just doesn't have talent. That's the only difference there. But certainly some drivers aren't very happy with myself there at the end of this race. But next episode, we will be starting the Cup Series playoffs and deciding the Xfinity Series playoff grid, as they have one more race left in the regular season. Hailie Deegan obviously setting herself up really well as we get ready to check this playoff grid. Now, as you see it, Chase Elliott's the last car in, but you don't see it on the screen because it's cut off, as we do go check though to make sure that he is the last car in, and he is indeed the last car in the playoffs now, as Blaney's the first one out. And there we are, 16 to the good. Not very good, but hopefully we can make it to the final 4 this season. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very appreciated. Thank you for taking the time out of your guys' day to watch one of my videos, and I will see you guys in the next episode where we fight in the playoffs in Las Vegas. Thank you for watching, and have yourselves a great day.